So here we are, guys. We are in the little children's toilet area. And it's so bizarre because the sinks are like waist height. And you go to one of the toilets there and they are so low. Obviously for the little kiddies there. Oh, once upon a time, all of us were that size. Now these floors here, the one minging, this floor was absolutely filthy. There's a bit of damage on some of the floors, by the way. So what Ruth is doing, she's scrubbing the sides there because my rotary won't reach high as that. So just to eliminate anybody saying to me, oh, you know, how do you get up there? You haven't cleaned that area. We do. Just remember as well, please, we do so much prepping beforehand. Honestly, there's a lot of camera you don't see because we just don't have time to video everything. Now, I'm using a Warwickshire XL Pro. Now, I do like these. They're nice and weighty. Yes, I'm using a red pad, and it is doing the job wonderfully. So, literally, I've had to use this because I couldn't get my 17-inch rotary inside due to the sides there. So, it was just a lot more easier to use the Warwick. Now, Warwicks, you can buy them on eBay. They're American. They're nice and weighty, and that's what's really important when you are cleaning these textured hard floors, to have some weight on there so it can break down the dirt. And also remember, I know I've said multiple times that I'm using an extraction machine afterwards, and I'll be cleaning these or extracting these floors at 800 psi. That is some water pressure coming out. In theory, I don't really need to scrub the floors. I could just use my hard floor wand at 800 psi and it will do a really decent job. But I always like to scrub the floors. I like to scrub them, and then the machine, it's just does, you know, the extraction machine gives it another clean. So when I do clean these floors, I always do 2 cleans on them to be safe. And that way, you're getting the best possible clean. And it's hot water as well, really piping hot. It's an internal heater in the extraction machine. Now, for some reason, all these floors... Oh, look at Ruth opening the door for me, bless. For some reason, these floors, once I scrubbed, so I pre-sprayed the solution. Now I'm scrubbing, but the floors went white, and I found out from the manager that they use gel and bleach and everything else on the floors just to try and keep them clean. So this is just this is what it's just turning my solution to. So there's nothing to worry about. But this particular toilet there, it was damaged. You won't see it now until I extract the dirt out. So it was etched in there. Now all these floors were cleaned in this nursery. 95% cleaned beautifully. They really did. Just a few areas where there was etching. That's permanent damage on the floor. Ingrained. There's nothing I could do, whether I used a brush to scrub it, or whether I used this to scrub, or whether I used just the extraction machine at 800 psi. Didn't make any difference. Damage is damage, guys. There's nothing I can't do about that. I can clean floors, as you can see there. Look at the dirt. Ugh. Horrible, isn't it? And this floor here, there was some damage around the bottom of the base of the toilet, just there. Can you see? But like I said, because I'm scrubbing it, you won't see it until I extract that dirt out. Now the dirt did lift really, really well. Ruth had already gone round, even behind the toilets, and scrubbed as well with the tiled floor scrubber that we use to get right into the corners, and it wouldn't even lift then. The etching wouldn't, because it's permanent damage. So it's like I always say, it's not a magic wand I've got when I am extracting. It's just a wand. And it's the same with the Warwick that I'm using there. Also, by the way, I did have a message saying, what rotary do you recommend for little small, areas? This is what I recommend, the Warwick XL Pro. There's a floor mat out there, the same size as this. However, it's not as heavy as this. These are nice and heavy. Like I said, hard floors need weight. So all day long, go for a weighty Warwick. So I'm literally, like I said, I'm just scrubbing away here with the red pad. I could have put a blue pad on, but I won't bothered because, like I said, I'm extracting at 800 psi shortly. And I'm also going to be going over the area with a big rotary machine as well. So, and like I said, you don't see everything. You don't see a lot of the prep work that goes on behind the scenes, because we just don't physically do not have the time. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a video that's going to be lasting, well, I think we're about 10 hours or so there yesterday, whatever. So we just don't have time. You don't see everything. And if you want perfection, if you want perfect, then just replace the floors. Now, in that corner there is dirt. Can you see it? But it's ingrained, just like mildew sometimes, round a bath. And it's eating away at the sealant. So over the years, it's just eating away. Ruth did scrub all that area. And as you can see there, the pad overlaps a little bit, which allows me to go right into the corner as well. So it's just eating away at it, that's all. There's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. Like I said, these floors are 10 years old. 10 years old, guys. Wow. So I've scrubbed that area there. So now I'm going over with the 17-inch Viper. I've got a blue pad on there. Now, I love Vipers. Now, this particular Viper, this hard floor, or this rotary, is once again very weighty, which is great for breaking down dirt. But I use this floor, this rotary as well for my commercial work when I'm cleaning carpets. I've got a big job coming up on Thursday, so you'll see the same machine. It's a different solution that I put on the carpet, complete. It's an encapsulation product. I might extract some of the areas in this large office areas we're doing on Thursday, and then I probably will just go over the top with an encapsulation product. It really does finish it off really nice. Now, you see me talking, I'm having to do a talk over because of some reason TikTok does not, honestly, it does not like me on this video, when I'm talking for some reason. It's saying it keeps on muting the video. So whether or not I sound like someone famous, I don't know. So I'm having to do a talk over, unfortunately, because over and over again it just mutes it. There's no music in the background. I'm not singing away. Ruth's not singing away. The manager isn't singing away. There's nothing. Just me and the beast scrubbing away there. Now, the only thing I can think of is the extractor fan came on, which was a little bit loud, but I do have my clip-on microphone there, a little yellow clip-on mic, which is, you might see it shortly. That's what I'm using now. So I don't know, I don't get it, and I was trying to go through the settings to find out to contact TikTok and let them know there's nothing on there. There's no sound coming from anywhere, no music. I don't understand why you keep muting my video. So I'm just doing a talk over. So yeah, my apologies if I'm rambling on a little bit. I just want to say a big shout out to all my new followers as well. I hope you're all well. Thank you for being nice and asking decent questions as well. I went through a bit of a patch last week. I had some... well, I'll call them idiots because they were just trolling, going on and on about this particular pad, you should use a black pad and this and that, and even some of the words they were using, I just knew they were just trolling because they were clueless. And all you have to do is type in what a black pad is for, and it would tell you it's for stripping floors. I'm not stripping this floor. There's nothing on the floor to strip. You don't put a wax on these safety floors because it defeats the whole purpose. So what you do is clean them. That is it. You can see the ingrained dirt there. So yeah, black pads are for stripping. Nothing else. That's it. If you want to put a black pad on here and damage the textured floors, do that. But it's going to cost you a lot of money to replace them. It literally costs, honestly, that room there to replace all that LVT flooring, you're probably looking about $3,000, $4,000, there around. It's so expensive, safety floors. And the reason for that is because they're down for at least 20 years lifespan, there around. So they want to make sure they get their money's worth by charging the rates that they do. So one of the things I did check as I walked around earlier is to make sure the wells, now wells are like little seams on the floor where to allow for expansion, etc. Now, if the wells aren't right, then what will happen, the water will go underneath there and it can blow the floors. But I'd already checked them, all the wells were in really good condition. So like I said, if you're looking, thinking, what's Darren talking? He's talking to himself. I'm not. It's like I said, TikTok keep on muting my voice. So hopefully they won't mute this one, and if they do, I'm going to be happy. So you're going to see me extract shortly, guys. So like I said, I'm going to extract these at 800 psi, so there's some serious water pressure. Look at the dirt there. And the room smelled great. So I did put an acid rinse in my tank when I'm extracting. That prevents the floor from turning yellow, so it's important that you do use a acid rinse in your tank when you are extracting. The simple reason you don't want the floor to turn yellow, because the pH of the solution is very high. So you just want to neutralise anything you put on there. So yeah, I'm only telling you from when I've been trained, and like I said, I've been doing this 19 years now. But look at the dirt getting lifted from that. Remember, Ruth did go around earlier and she went round all the corners, so we haven't missed anything out. We do a lot of work behind the scenes, even before it's on camera, just to prep work, just so it's a bit easier. And then sometimes, like here, I've got camera in my hand, my wand in the other. I'm not an octopus, guys. Ruth is probably out off somewhere else and treating another room somewhere, prepping that ready for me to go straight in to clean it. But look at the dirt getting lifted there. Some serious dirt coming out. And the floors, once we cleaned all the floors, even I didn't notice it until I cleaned the floors. There were a lovely little flecks of glitter all over the floor, which that's how it came manufactured. You couldn't see that at all because of the dirt. Now there's some etching, there's some damage there right in the corner. There's nothing I can do about that. It's just part of the damage that's happened over the years. Now, like I said, we did go right into the corners. Ruth scrubbed the corners, so scrubbed all that back, all the side elevations, and then it literally, once we've done this, Ruth will just go around the cloth and just wipe the sides. So you see, I think it's this one here where you see around the base of the basin quite a lot of etching, a lot of damage. So a lot of this is actually done through cleaners. Fortunately, there was no... What can happen when you're cleaning urinals on the floors, because urine is acidic, it can eat away literally on the floor there, and it discolours, it looks awful. So obviously the kids have probably just sat down on the toilet having a little wee-wee. Hence there's no damage on the floors. Now for 10-year-old floors, they are in excellent condition. Like I said, one or two little areas where the floor is damaged. There's nothing I can do about that. It's just one of those things. But for 10-year-old floors, hard floors, that is exceptional. It really is. So I'm just extracting away. And as you can tell, I think this room took us about 30 minutes to do. 35 minutes. And it was only a smallish room, but you can't rush them, you see. You have to literally scrub and scrub away. Now, that hard floor wand has only got 2 jets. You can buy them where they've got 4 jets, but I prefer the 2-jet one, personally. Now, if you've got a truck mount, you might want a 4-jet one. You see the damage around the basin there, right low down. So I don't hide anything from you guys, Like I said, there's nothing wrong with my clean. It's just damage on the floor, which is beyond my control. It's not dirt. It's etching. It's just damaged. So there we go. And what I like about this, it swivels a little bit as well. There's the hard floor wand, and I just prefer the two jet as well. I suppose if I'd have had a truck mount, well, you wouldn't have been able to reach here from a truck mount anyway, to be fair, because the distance-wise. But with the portable that I'm using, they are a high-end commercial portable machine. They're not a little poxy little machine that you think is like a rug doctor or a Karcher, something like that. The machine's like £5,000 itself, just the machine. That's without the hard floor wand. That's without the hoses. And because they're being used all the time, your vacs go all the time, your pump will go. So when we give prices, don't be thinking to yourself, oh, what a rip-off. When you think about it, if I were going to come and clean your carpet, let's say your staircase carpet, for example, and I give you a price. Now, to be honest with you, I don't get 9 times out of 10. I don't have any issues with price with anybody. Yeah, that's fine. But now and again, you get someone saying, how much? And you think to yourself, well, hang on. You can't even buy one carpet for that. And I'm come to clean your staircase carpet, your landing and your hallway. So, to get it done properly, you pay for it done properly. Simple as. Remember, when professionals turn up with any trade, they don't pocket all that. I always get most of my customers, if not all of them, to literally pay into my bank all the time. I don't want cash. I get my customers to pay in my bank. And I've always done that in 19 years. It's better for me. I've got bills coming out like everybody else. I've got tax on that. I've got insurance to come off that. I've got all the bills for my van, insurance on my van, public liability, tools to buy. Like I said, the vacs go all the time. The pump will go. All these things do add up, guys, honestly. So when a professional gives you a price, remember, whether it's for carpet cleaning or joinery work or if they're doing bathrooms or whatever else, there's a reason why they charge that. I always say, look, if you want cheap, do it yourself. Simple as. But you won't use these type of machines and it won't be done properly. So that floor cleaned right well, didn't it? Really cleaned up well. So you're going to see the water coming out very shortly. So I just want to do a big shout out to all my new followers. Thank you for being nice. Hope you have a great weekend. Like I said, this job was down in Nuneaton in Warwickshire. So there we go. Just look at the dirt coming out of here. That's just from that. Look at that. That's disgusting, isn't it? You might think it don't look that bad, but remember it's a reflection from the light onto it. But that is disgusting. Look at that. Let's have a look here. You see it better there, don't you? Look how dirty that is. Right, guys. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend. What's left to it. Ciao, ciao.